welcome to the Living House Burnside Under-26 Singles Day 3. We're here and ready to go for the finals, just about to kick off for Div 1, Div 2, Div 3 and Div 4. Today I'm Emily Belton and I'm commentating for this game today, and I've also got Anthony here. So Anthony, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Anthony and I'm from the Bay of Plenty. Played in this competition 5 years now, so been here a while now.
Nice. And how did you get on last year?
Yeah, I won it last year. So
yeah, good stuff, good effort. And so you're just down here supporting this weekend, or?
Well, I am now.
Yeah.
No, I played again and managed to sneak into Div 1. Sadly losing to Taylor, but he's still going good.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, fantastic. Well, it's great to have you here in the commentary box or commentary room. It's fantastic to just have players, current players and people who've played in the tournament before. So, yeah, they're just getting underway. How are they going? So today we've got our markers. Taylor Bruce is marking this final. We've also got scoreboard flippers, Penny Pat and Shirley Clark, and then our umpires for the green is Robert Clark, as well as Philippa Johnston is from Burnside too. So great voluntary support here from Burnside Bowling Club for this event, which is fantastic. So Taylor started off quite well with setting a bowl behind, which is great. So, Anthony, what have you enjoyed about the Burnside Under-26s when you've participated?
Oh, there's so many aspects. Like you said, the supporters are amazing. I mean, they run the tournament very well. It's always a highlight for all our young players. And the players themselves, getting to meet so many young people, meet so many people from across New Zealand. It's just great.
Yeah, fantastic. And it's, I suppose, as a young person, there are young people around our sport, and there's a few more coming in as well, but it's always good to meet new faces, especially someone around your similar age, so you can connect with them at this tournament but also in other tournaments as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I met so many people, played with them now. It's just one of those things. Yeah,
no, that's cool. So the guys are getting off to a good start. Both have got one on just in front of the jack, which is a good start for this final. Seamus's bowl just creeping around. Guys are going to touch it, not quite, but sitting just behind the jack. And so we do have a couple of sponsors here today. Our naming sponsor is Living House, and as I mentioned in the previous round, this is the first time they've been involved with this tournament. Living House takes pride in supplying New Zealanders with an excellent range of earth-wool, glass-wool insulation, central vacuums, heat pumps, drive air ventilation systems. Is this bowl from Taylor going to come in? Not quite. He just hasn't found his line just yet, but it's the first end, so he's got plenty of time to settle into this game. Living House also can supply you products for supply only, or if you need a complete supply and install, their team is there to help. Contact them for a free quote or call into 11F Sheffield Crescent in Burnside, Christchurch.
Just coming past, not a bad spot to be, especially when you have last bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll hopefully see the players settle in a little bit more into their groove of their game, but it's always different changing rinks without having a trial end.
Might make Seamus change his hand here, look for a bit of the split or just to roll the wide away.
He's taking a look, seeing what the best option is, isn't he?
Yeah. All comes down to what weight he wants to use. Since he's got the back one, he could go bigger, or he could just roll it out a couple. So we'll be interested to see what he does.
Yeah, it's deciding what risk he wants to take at this early stage of the game.
Yeah.
little bit tight on this side, on the forehand. Is it going to collect with Taylor's front one?
It's what we call good weight.
Yeah. Good result out of a risky situation there.
I think it still might be one Taylor.
Yep, measure it. Better be safe than sorry with this type of thing at this level. I asked Taylor Bruce earlier if she had used like the new laser measures or the orbiter measures. Have you used any of those?
Never
devices?
seen one yet, no.
No. Well, Taylor was saying that it just provides a different like tool to use when measuring, like if an official uses them, it just rather than just the measure. But yeah, I've not seen them used yet, but yeah, really interested to see how they work.
Is that from Australia, is it?
Yeah, I know that Hunter Bowls have yeah, the laser measures, but I'm not sure if they're really coming through New Zealand just yet.
Would make life easy, that's for sure.
Hopefully, you'd hope so.
So he did sneak away with that one.
So as they're kicking off their second end, a little bit about the players. So yeah, Seamus is 22 from Wellington. He's a student and has been playing for about 12 years. He's also been a high feature in the under-26 singles in previous years, with having been, this is his 5th Division 1 event. So back in 2018 he won Division 1, in 2019 he was the runner-up in Division 2, in 2020 he was 5th in Division 1, and in 2021 he was 3rd in Division 1. So quite a good results sheet that we have in front of us here. And to Taylor, who is 25, he's at Cambridge Central, and his occupation, as states here, is a dolphin trainer, which is an interesting occupation. I'd like to know more about that. He's been playing for 14 years, and this is the last year he'll be able to play in the under-26 singles, and his results from previous years. In 2019 he was 5th in Division 1, in 2020 he was 1st in Division 1, and in 2021 he was 2nd in Division 2. So yeah, both players have got a really good results sheet for this event.
Yeah, not only Burnside, but outside it carries over. Done very well.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got Seamus, who's in the Blackjacks wider squad as well. First played in the under-26 singles in 2015 as a 15-year-old. In 2022 as first national. Yeah, that does say peers. Peers for the men's, and in 2015 he was in the Youth Commonwealth Games, which is a fantastic career so far. And with Taylor, in 2019 he was the national men's singles winner. In 2022 winner of in 2022 the winner of at least 3 meat pack tournaments, which is a great effort as well.
Always got to play in the meat pack tournaments.
You do, you got to fill the freezer.
Yeah. Taylor just drawing shot there.
Seamus just asking the question of what's the position.
Taylor's trying to block the sun there with his rag, eh?
Yeah. Anything you can do to get away from the sun is a good thing. I think it's just starting to heat up out there, which is oh, good shot. Well, depends.
Yeah.
It'll be quite tight, I think.
Yeah, the weather's been really interesting this weekend. Coming into it, you know, everyone knew it was going to be pretty cold.
Yep.
It was obviously snowing in a lot of places here, and it was like 1 degree or something like that, like -1 when we landed.
Yeah, it's been a bit crazy weather. We had frost this morning, which I don't think we've usually had this late in October. I mean, it's only the 9th, but don't usually get frost this late. So yeah, have you found the wind picked up on either of the days prior, or was the wind relatively consistent?
Today it hasn't been that bad, but you always get wind at certain parts of the day. It's just inevitable.
Yeah.
At the back green, it's not too bad, I heard, but out here at the front, it is a bit tricky.
Yep.
Get some channels, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, the flags aren't flying too evasively on the poles out there today, so hopefully the wind stays a little bit flat.
No, it's a beautiful day for the finals, that's for sure.
And that was a beautiful shot.
Very
Interesting
good.
to see if that second bowl of Taylor's
is also in the count.
Is it? Yeah. So there's definitely one.
Looks like just the one.
Yep.
Almost a good bonus there, because I believe he had the shot before then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming down a good track here.
Yeah, I think that's going to finish quite nicely.
Yep, I found it quick.
Yeah.
Nice close heads.
This one looks like it's tracking well as well. Just a little bit further than probably what was hoped.
It's funny talking about the wind, because it can change the speed of the green obviously as well.
Yep.
I found going into the wind actually was pretty quick yesterday when I was on the TV rink.
Yep.
Which was bizarre. It was going quick into the wind.
Yeah. So
and rolling on.
Yeah, so it wasn't really affecting the... Do you think it wasn't affecting the bowls as much as what it probably would have in a, I don't know, different situation?
I think here, particularly playing this direction, the channel goes through different parts, interestingly.
This bowl's good adjustment by Seamus.
Giving himself some position here.
Yeah, it's a good bowl to have in that position.
Good shoulder for Seamus to rest on there if he can use it.
Yeah, it's not in danger as long as he comes in between those two bowls of Taylor's, which unfortunately he's not going to do with this one, but it would have been a good resting bowl just to bump it out of the way if needed.
He almost drew the shot before, so it'll be interesting to see if he just tries to adjust that little bit or to roll it out on the other hand.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see what players decide to do. I mean, we sit up here watching from a bird's eye view, but obviously it always look slightly different to the players down on the green.
Oh, easy game to play on the side. I mean,
Yeah. Might be just a little bit short.
he's found his line very early though. Very good grouping.
Funny if the jack was right in the middle of those four bowls.
Lucky to have the tournament director marking them in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great to have Taylor, yeah, marking it as well as doing all the bits and pieces that need to be done on the day.
Yeah, it's awesome to see her go from a player, and then she came last year and helped out a bit, and now she's the tournament director. So
Yeah, it's fantastic to yeah, to level up and progress into those types of things. If that's what she wants to do, then that's fantastic.
yeah, she knows the importance of this tournament.
Yeah.
Being part of it the whole time.
So the guys decide to give the bowls a measure. So a bit too close to call it by eyesight.
Yeah, if they're measuring, Taylor's pretty good at looking at the head. He's pretty decisive. He's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's yours or it's mine.
Yeah. And if you want it, you got to measure it yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Taylor's got the shot. Have you experienced many umpires calling a dead head? I've seen it a few times, but yeah, have you seen it much?
Yes, happened to me. But yeah, it's tricky. Can't quite get it. Obviously, when umpires call, it's close.
Yeah.
And it's their job. They should go as close as they can the first time round. And if they can't call it, they have to call it dead. It's just better than accidentally moving it or, giving it to the wrong person. You just got to call it dead.
Yeah, yeah. It's I don't think no, it's definitely not happened to me, but I have seen it while watching at a centre event, and it's just the first time you see it, you're like, what'd they just do?
What happened there?
Yeah.
Especially in like pairs or triples where it's ends.
Yes.
The dead end counts as an end.
Yeah.
So it's actually drawn.
Good start by Seamus here, just putting the bowl just behind the jack. This bowl coming down by Taylor is tracking quite well. Just going to finish in line with the jack or just in front. Will Seamus change his hand?
I was wrong last time, but I think he will this time.
Well, it kind of looks like there's a little bit of space from this angle, but again, it's how it's perceived down on the green.
Yeah, it's good to get bowls close as well. You don't need the shot, but if you can group them really well.
Yeah.
But it looks like the rink's playing well enough where both hands are optimal for the players, so that also makes it really good.
Yeah, it doesn't look like one's really narrow, one's really wide. They do seem to be quite consistent and, good width and good line for the players. This bowl's looking quite good too.
Changing hands. He's found his weight.
Yeah. He's adjusted really well to changing rinks.
Looking to probably trail the jack through, knowing Taylor.
Yeah, coming through in between. Is it going to cut just a little bit too much? Not a bad position if he's going to try again and trail the jack through.
Yeah. Good weight with your second to last one, so if you do get it with your last, it's in the bonus.
Yeah. Seamus's last bowl just, his third bowl is just cut in. Probably not what he was really hoping to achieve.
Trouble is you don't want to make the head bigger when it's like that, because Seamus will know that Taylor likes to have a go when he can. Very good with that drive. But how it's sitting now, he's got to get it pretty good. But if you put a wing bowl in, then he can come off it. Gives you that confidence as well.
Yep.
Get both.
Get one.
Very good.
He's got, great delivery and execution by Taylor there, getting rid of 2 of Seamus's bowl. Yeah, really good angle to hit that front bowl to get the second bowl behind.
Nice and square to split it clean.
Yep. And not interfering with the jack, because otherwise that would have, bounced off to the side or something.
Yeah, luckily they were resting high, so there was no contact that would have happened. Starting high. It is coming back.
Yeah, it's looking quite good as long as it can stop shortly. Maybe fall in as well.
Oh, didn't quite fall in.
No.
Slowly but surely, another one on the board.
Yep.
Opting for the medium size end. I think Seamus was playing the longer length, so it'll be interesting to see how the game goes on, which lengths they decide on.
It's interesting to see what players' game plans are in terms of changing the length of the mat and the jack, and whether they just stick to one length, or do they try and change it to just disrupt the flow of the other player.
Yeah, I feel like later on in the game, a lot of people like bringing the mat further and further up.
Yep.
So they're more in control. You know, it's easier to get shots while the mat's up.
Yep.
To play those sort of big bowls when you need it.
Just a slight touch, but unfortunately the bowl didn't stay with the jack.
Coming back really well out there.
Yeah. Yeah, they do seem quite wide, but they're tracking quite well though. And saying that one might have just been a little bit too wide.
Yeah, he didn't want to be tight for a third time.
Yep.
But they've got their weight very well, so I'm sure he'll have a good fourth bowl.
It's the beauty of singles is that you get 4 bowls to test it all out.
Oh, the amount of times my fourth bowl saves me. Super glad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great spot. Really puts pressure on Taylor here.
Yeah, he's really got to think about what the best option is for him, whether it's removing that front bowl, just dropping, trying to reduce the impact.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows Seamus has another one left as well, so he'll probably just look to reduce the count and put one where he can't ping it, hopefully.
Yeah. Looks like the green's good.
Is it going to come underneath? Looks good.
Or just a wick and just, still reducing that count though.
Looks like Taylor put it up for Seamus still having one.
Yep.
But that's exactly where Taylor wanted to be, because Seamus can't really push that out.
No, I think his own, like, if Seamus was trying to get more shots, then it'd just be pushing his front bowl forward, or moving the jack back to those 2 to get more shots, but we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, being safe and tentative. Looked for the dead draw.
Yep.
you know you're in for a good game when you get ones like these.
Yes. It was like the Division 4 semi-finals they finished not too long ago,
Yeah.
and they were going 1-1, 2-2, all the way through. They were playing for what, like 2.5 hours or so? That's the fight that you like. That's the type of game that you want.
That's what you think, hey, when
Yeah.
you're playing. You're like, oh, the game's going to go like this.
Yeah.
But then you get ends, it's like, what am I doing? I've dropped 3 here.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, and I mean it's keeping your mind focused on the job at hand. I mean, yes, you might have dropped a 3, but you've still got potentially a few more ends to come to get back those numbers.
Yeah, here's that long end.
Yeah.
Side toucher. Brilliant start.
Must be starting to get it hot out there with Shirley Clark with an umbrella as the flipper down the other end of the scoreboard.
Yeah, the good thing about the wind is it's nice and cool, but
Yeah.
how it is today, put your cream on for sure.
Yeah, got to be sun smart these days.
Yep. Clean up duty there.
Yeah, it's sometimes yeah, when you've probably got lighter bowls like that, sometimes it's probably not as easy to see those toucher marks.
Yeah. White bowls with pink speckles. Thank you, Taylor. He got them brand new last year. Actually, never played with them before.
Really?
Played them Burnside last year.
Yep. By the looks of them, yeah, from a distance they look like Taylors.
They
No?
are.
Yep.
He used to play with Hens Lights.
Yep,
but then-
Dreamlines.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then he got these. Jeez, these Taylors.
And have you stayed with the same set of bowls your whole bowl, like outdoor bowls career?
Yeah, when you start, you know, you use the whatever's there at the clubs.
Yep.
So like the old Dreamlines and like the Victors and
Yep.
all those. Had classic 2s for a little while, but
Yep. Nothing really round the world.
that classic 2s were around the world. I was actually, funny story, going to play, there used to be a tournament called Kitty Hawks.
Yes. Yep.
Young people tournament. And I was going to go to Howick.
Yeah.
It's going to be like one of my first competitions. And I was going to play with classic 2s
Yep.
on Starweed.
Oh, great.
My friend was, Nick Tomset, said, you're not doing that.
Yep.
And he gave me his set of black XGs to
Yep.
try, and ever since been using XGs.
Yeah, yeah, they're a great bowl, aren't they? I mean, there's always a place for classic 2s, but I mean, you've got to sometimes think about the green and what you're playing on with the type of bowl that you'll be using.
Unlucky to run into his own there.
Yeah.
Looked like he was heading right to the jack. Taylor will just be looking to draw it off. Can't really get fancy with this.
No, because if he tries to remove the bowl, then the jack's likely to go because it's right next to it. So, yeah, the draw's probably the better option at this point.
He's here.
Close.
Dangerous. Think there'll be another one on the board for Seamus.
Yes.
Again, probably opting for that long end.
It's 3-all after 6 ends.
Doesn't get better than this.
No, it's a great game. So it's definitely set to be a longer in this this end. Seamus coming down on the backhand.
Yeah, obviously practices a lot. Very good control of that jack. Something I struggled with this weekend. Those
Yep.
top players, you know, they can put it where they want it, when
Yep.
they want it.
And I think that's probably something that a lot of players don't do as frequently as they should, is like practicing the jack delivery.
Yeah, some people just chuck it up, but it's a whole delivery you get to practice beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different on artificial, different speeds, but on grass it's, yeah, essential.
Yes. Yeah, when I put together a couple of circuit trainings for the senior women's teams here in Canterbury, I always put in a jack delivery section so that players actually do get that opportunity, because they may not be practicing that as frequently as they should when they're at their own home club. So it's always good to put it in there.
Yeah, we're lucky enough in the Bay to have Leif Selby,
Yep.
I believe is his name, and he, great guy, great history, gave us a bunch of drills, and his favourite one was the jack, bowl, throw jack, 2 draws again.
Yep. Yeah, no, there's some great drills and exercises that players can be doing to improve their game and practice some of their weaknesses that they could see. Yeah. Seamus has got 2 there. Taylor's bowl's tracking quite nicely low. If it's got that speed, then could disrupt that, which it has.
Beauty. Probably see Seamus follow his bowl up here.
Yeah, just trying to maybe just draw into that space in between those 2 bowls at the front. Just cuts under.
Very good grouping. This is the tricky part. Do you put one behind, or do you just do the same thing? It's like the wind's caught this one coming across the head.
Swinging just a little bit.
You can tell, with bowls, you can tell he's envisioning exactly what he wants to do, and that's a great sign.
Yeah, Seamus has definitely got a good pre-shot routine where he steps off the mat, decides what he wants to do, visualises what he's going to do. Oh, that's not a bad result.
I don't think he envisioned that, but we take those.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's amazing what bowls or the head ends up looking like when the bowl doesn't always go quite to plan, and it hits something that you weren't originally intending, but it ended up with a great result.
Yeah, funny stuff can happen when you use weight like that. Having other games alongside this one, finals of every division, hearing those players on the green. Might get his own, roll it over. He doesn't need to.
Through.
What a great bowl.
Good bowl.
Very good speed, gave it every chance.
Yep. So Anthony's wrapping up here with us with the commentating for the live stream, and Graham Reese will be joining us shortly. So thank you so much, Anthony, for joining us, commentating and hearing. It's great to hear your thoughts around the game being played and learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah, thanks, Emily.
No problem. Awesome. And now we have Graham Reese joining us on the live stream. How are you, Graham?
Hi Emily, I'm very well, thank you, on this beautiful Christchurch day.
Yeah,
Tamara just reminded me my mouthpiece needs to be close, so yeah, we've done that. Great final.
yeah, it's a really good game, isn't it?
A couple of great semi-finals as well. I was lucky enough to mark the game between Taylor and young Liam Hill from Auckland, and could have gone either way, and then Taylor just snagged it, and yeah, we've got another great game on our hands here, and perfect conditions, so yeah.
Yeah, it's so great to see the range, the age range, but also the skill range within the players as well. It's great to see those young ones coming through the sport.
Yeah, I understand this is Taylor's last year, but there's some fantastic younger players coming through, and so the sport's in good heart, and the under-26 tournament will continue in similar vein, I believe, over the next few years with the younger ones stepping up. So yeah.
It's great. And Taylor's just played a really good bowl, pushing it to two shots on the head at the moment.
Yeah, both these players have got their weight control pretty well down pat, and it's a shame it's just attacking here, but he's just a bowl wide.
Get a wick.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the sort of game where every bowl's going to count, and so
Yeah, there's only been a couple that have swept the front of the head or something like that, or fallen short, so their ratio is probably quite good at the moment.
yeah, I must admit I did do a wee bit of coding before I came up, and yeah, with using Taylor's, and then most bowls were in the effective zone for him, so that's exactly what we're seeing here. So Seamus might have another run at this. He's a couple down, I think. Yep. So he's got the back bowl, so everything to gain.
Yep.
Nice and compact delivery, and he's not far away, but he's just fractionally wide.
Oh.
Great effort that Taylor gets a couple, so he takes a wee bit of a lead, 6-3. So Emily, tell us about your performance coaching. You've just been sort of inducted into the high performance area. I'm waiting on Andrew Kelly to turn up, actually. He's somebody that I look after, but you've got a few people under your cohort now.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. No, so it's great. Yeah, it's great to be into the high performance space. Obviously, as you know, that I've been working towards recently completed the PCA, the Performance Coach Academy, that through Bowls New Zealand, and then last year I completed the Women in Sport, High Performance Sport New Zealand Te Hapatanga satellite program. So it's great to be able to put those learnings from those two programs into action this year. So yeah, really looking forward to connecting with the players. I think, in reality, Caitlin Inch is one of my players, and she's really like the only person that I have known for the longest time. So it'll be really great to learn more about the other players.
What excites you most about it?
The opportunity to to support and understand how the high performance space works. I think, it's understanding the players a little bit more about what their goals and dreams and aspirations are. And actually there's a beautiful bowl by Taylor just there, right on the jack.
Yeah, and I was just speaking to Mike Kernahan before I came up, and he mentioned yourself being of that age where most of our blackjacks who went to Birmingham were under 30, so you're somebody being a similar age group can relate to the team and build those relationships. So we're very excited about having you on board, and all the very best. So we've just seen a couple of great opening bowls. The first two bowls in a game of singles are very critical, and both these players will be aware of that, and both on this end have nailed it. Yeah,
first bowl effectiveness is really key, isn't it, in a game? In any game, but I think it's really crucial in a singles game. Well, that's a good...
Did he flick over then? I think he played the backhand first, because Shane's got one slightly in his way, so just a flick over like that was an incredible shot. Yeah,
and that's the skill of these two players, that they can transition either side of the backhand or forehand relatively easily, and know that they're still going to be consistent with their shot play.
Yeah, think also big ups to Jamie Ferris, the greenkeeper here at Burnside. He's got these greens in magnificent order, and so these players can actually play what we're seeing on screen here. So not much wind out there, and it's perfect conditions. So.
No, yeah. Yeah, and that sun will be heating up the green slightly, so it might be running a little bit quicker than this morning.
Compared to Friday even, I think there was no sun out, and so therefore you're right, there's probably another second of running out there, and it's running around about 16.5 seconds, so it's closing in on 17, so therefore it's a great speed to play all your shots, and we're seeing that from both these players. Another great shot here from Taylor Hall, and look at that. Wow.
It's a competitive end, isn't it?
You could put a cloth over those bowls. They're all within a metre. And so and I think Taylor's got 3, so as it stands, but I wouldn't be surprised it stays that way.
Yeah, something's got to happen.
Seamus comes down and has a bit of a look and wanders backwards. Both players are similar in this respect. They visualise as they walk backwards and know exactly what shot they're going to play.
Yeah, we were talking about that, Anthony and I, about how, a lot of players are visualising what they're doing before they... And you can tell when they're visualising, when they're standing off the mat in their pre-shot routine.
Yeah, very similar to golf.
Yep.
People that don't play sport, it's all about line and length, and Seamus is a bit unlucky there. He just clipped an earlier bowl, otherwise he would have been right in amongst it. So Taylor Horn's looking pretty good with only 1 bowl each to go on this end. Could be a bit of a gap if he picks up 3 here. Very studious. He did this in the semi-final against young Liam as well. He takes his time and it's really measured, and he'll be wanting to win this as last year in the under-26 singles, and I think Seamus has got a couple more years here. Just looking at his bio here, he's 22. He's won a few things, hasn't he? Look at that, under-26, 3rd, 5th, runner-up winner in 2018, and currently on the Blackjack Wider squad, so he's part of the group that the performance coaches look after, and he's playing very well.
Definitely.
Probably if you started the tournament, you would have picked these 2 for the final. They're probably a favoured combination to make it, and they both have, so we've got a great game on our hands for that very reason.
Yeah.
Taylor just gets a bit of cover here, and he almost counts, but not quite, I don't think. Seamus' bowl is pretty well protected, so he can probably attack again and try and remove some of Taylor's shots. And
go on the forehand.
Risky. I think he'll play something similar to he did last time. He wasn't far away. He lines it up, and his address on the mat is fairly stable as he releases, and he might just be on the backhand actually, but he's got connection and he's cut it back to a couple, so
from 3 to 2, it's not a bad effort.
Yeah, it was a well set up head from Taylor.
But
and going back to your coaching, Emily, you're also looking at core knowledge next year. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so that's a program through High Performance Sport New Zealand as well. So they provide 4 different categories, and each category has about 3 blocks of learning within that. So there's quite a fair bit of subject knowledge to absorb, but that's going to be a great course. So they're based in Christchurch, Auckland and Wellington, and then there are some online opportunities if you can't get to either of those 3 locations for your courses. So I'll be taking a little bit of time off on leave next year, trying to fit it all in, but I'm looking forward to all the various learning opportunities.
Yeah, they are great courses, having been on a couple myself. I've got one coming up this week called Body in Motion, which is, I think, around technique and biomechanics, so all about the bowler, or any sport, when they execute like Seamus is executing there, and so that'll be an interesting course. they run about 3 or 4 workshops, and I've completed one on professional practice, which is basic coaching, and they do a fantastic job. And you're working with sports, all other sports, so rugby league, cricket, swimming, athletics, you name it. So yeah, it's pretty exciting what high performance sport put together in this core knowledge coaching course that they've run. Well, that's a pretty good bowl from Taylor. There was nothing really close with their first bowls, but he's tidied it up.
We can probably give them that, given how well they've been playing in the other ends.
Yeah, what I noticed in the semi-final, coming in this direction towards the last couple of ends, Liam just lost his way a wee bit, and Taylor won the game really playing this way.
Yep.
There's a slight breeze. Can't really see it on your screen, but it's just it requires probably a wee bit more push coming this way. Not much, but yeah, just enough to make a difference.
Yep.
Taylor's bowl seemed to roll and roll. I'm not sure what size he's playing with, but again, for those non-bowlers out there, all the bowls different sizes, and Taylor's got a fairly big hand, I'd imagine, looking at the size, and he might be playing with a 5. The range in size from a double nought, which is really small, through to a 6. So
Yeah, haven't they? Hasn't World Bowls allowed triple nought and quad nought bowls now? I think
pass.
we'll ask the umpires out there one day.
But it makes you wonder. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. What they're going to do next with bowls? The manufacturers are always trying something to sell them, and
I think they went to the non-stamped bowls to get them in for barefoot bowls and things for clubs. So.
What do you mean by that?
So bowls are tested to make sure that all 4 of that set is the same, true to their line. So some manufacturers have come out with a bowl that's not tested, so it's not stamped, so it doesn't go through that rigorous process testing process. So they come out just a little bit cheaper than standard bowls that are stamped for a 10-year period if you're playing internationally or nationally. But for your average bowler who just has their usual club roll-ups, the stamp on the bowl usually doesn't make too much or have too much effect on the play.
So Seamus come down on his backhand here and just fallen a wee bit shy of weight, and so he might have a couple all the same. Let's see when the dust settles. So bowl's just similar to tennis, I suppose. You've got a forehand, a backhand, and so the backhand Seamus coming down there.
Yeah, and just like tennis, there's a few players who do prefer one side to the other, but you do try and practice both shots, and various types of shots, so that you get proficient at all of them.
Yeah, what do you think players should practice, their strengths or weaknesses, Emily? What's your thoughts?
It depends on, I feel like if they've got a major tournament coming up and things like that, that'll also depend in what time of how much time lead up time they have up to those games will depend on what they practice. I think if you've got a few weeks, maybe a month or so, then you're really looking at your weaknesses, and then I think as you're getting closer and closer, you start to really focus on your strengths, so that you know and you're confident in those shots.
Yeah, you're probably right. You probably mix it up a wee bit. You've obviously got to improve what you're not so strong at, but also don't forget about what you are strong at. And so Taylor's just got a bit of a gap now. He's picked up a couple more to go to 10-3, so he's halfway there. First to 21, he just needs 11 to go out. And so Seamus is under a wee bit of pressure, and he's put that one a wee bit wide. And he gets down very low, Taylor Horn. We just saw him bob up and down there a wee bit, but his delivery's nice and smooth. And look at that, that's the end result.
Yep.
Just going a wee bit at the end, but no, you'd be happy with that. 2 bowls pretty close. So, as we said before, the first 2 bowls and singles, and he's done that again and put pressure on Seamus. So let's see what he can reply to. Seamus also coming down this backhand, but he looks a wee bit wide again, if anything. And he too happy where he's landed there. Well, the good thing are the bowls are over the head, and in our sport you always say bowls are over the head are better than short, because the jack will always go back, or usually will. Yeah, very seldom do you see it bounce forward.
Yeah, yep, definitely. So it'll be interesting to see whether what changes Seamus will make to this bowl, hopefully.
Taylor's again got a fairly good bowl, and look at that, he covers the jack, and when you cover the jack like that it makes it more difficult, because Seamus won't be able to have the same sight. So yeah, it's a big couple of bowls here from Seamus to try and stay in touch. And gee whiz, I don't know where he's just hanging a wee bit out there, and back he comes now, so he's a bit better than I thought. So he's drawn perhaps, no, he's still possibly 3 down. And you'll probably see Taylor go over the top here, because he's got 3 and he'll be happy with that, but he wouldn't want to see Seamus move the jack back. But we'll see what happens. It doesn't look that easy to get to.
Yeah, there's not too many options, is there, for Seamus, whatever Taylor decides to do?
You're right, and he's really put himself under pressure, because he hasn't got close with those first couple of bowls. So 10-3 could quickly become 13-3,
Yeah.
14-3, so yeah. So look as he comes back into the head now, and he's
Tracked quite wide, didn't it?
hasn't-
But it's coming in.
Yeah, it's taken a bit of green, isn't it? And so his bowls seem to roll on, as I mentioned, but I don't know whether that's that good, because he's given Seamus an opportunity to possibly sit the bowl or pick up the jack. He's got all the bowls over the top, but he's coming to have a look, because he knows he's 4 down, and therefore what he does here is critical in terms of the overall game. But he's got a chance, I believe, on the back end to sit the bowl or pick the jack up, preferably.
So with a draw weight rather than any type of speed?
I think he wants to give it a chance. I think he'll be a metre or 2 through to pick that jack up and put it on amongst his other 3. The risk in him and just dead drawing is perhaps not arriving or playing similar to he did before, and therefore he doesn't change the head. Let's have a look and see what he does as he again walks back and visualises what he's going to do. You'll see the Living House signs are scattered around the rink. They're our main sponsor, and we'll just tell you about them in a moment. As Seamus releases on the back end, and he's got that wee bit of weight. He's hanging, isn't he? So, dearie me. So he's gone 4 down. So that's taken the score well out to 14-3, and Taylor nonchalantly walks up the green with a mat in his hand. But underneath that, he must be very pleased with the way this game's going.
Yeah, it's making sure that mindset continues, and that he's confident in his bowls and his delivery, so that when it gets closer and closer to that 21, he still holds. Yeah,
it's a good point. There's still plenty of time for Seamus to come back into this, but he wouldn't want to drop further behind. And usually, sometimes what you see when players do pick a handful up like that, the other player will come back, and you're right, it's around mindset and just staying focused, and I think we'll see that from Taylor.
Yep.
But, as I say, Living House is our major sponsor, and we're very fortunate to have them on board. First time they've been involved in the under-26 tournament, and they take pride in providing New Zealanders with a range of earth wall, glass wall, insulation, central vacuums, heat pumps, and ventilation systems. So, as I say, a big shout out to our sponsors. It makes it a lot easier to run tournaments like this when you've got them. So also sponsoring is Henselite, our bowls. We need no introduction. They make bowls, and very popular brand, and you'll see quite a few of our top bowlers using Henselite bowls, and they stock bags as well. So they're also sponsoring, and then we've got also some minor sponsors in Central City Tyres and 26 Morehouse Ave if you're in Christchurch. Go and get your tyres from them. Goodman Fielder. They supply the Meadow Fresh products for the players, and I think I've got one in front of me. I've got a chocolate milk and Scenic Hotel Group for accommodation voucher for our raffle prizes that are very popular with the young people. So, have you got a raffle, Emily?
Not yet. I did see that there's one of them's, I think the main raffle has been all sold out, but I think there's a couple of other ones floating about too.
I think I got a couple yesterday, so yeah, I'll let you know when I win.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So Taylor's got shot. Again, he's got a first bowl jump on Seamus, and he's tracking pretty well again, just a wee bit over the top with this one, but the line of the bowl's good. So you'll see the white chalk down the middle of the green, and most of the bowls are on that line, which is a credit to both players that they're hitting their line. So he's Seamus. He's got really to get close here. He'd like to. He's just missed again, I think.
Yeah,
so,
a bit too strong on that backhand. But as you were explaining before, Graham, around the how bowls works and the different types of bowls, we know that as coaches that players have a reference point and a focal point. So the reference point goes on the bank and the focal point's about 10 or 15 metres in front of the player, so that they can understand how their bowl's going to turn and get to their their target area.
It's pretty easy, isn't it? It's just line and length. And
you say that. You say that.
Only four things can go wrong. They can be short, like this one coming into the head now, or they can be wide, narrow, or over. So ideally, you've got to get as close to that white jack as possible. And at the moment, Taylor's just doing that a bit better than Seamus.
I think that's as much as players won't like to have wide shots, narrow shots, or ones that are too over the head and things like that. There's such a huge variety in bowls and the shots that you can play in, which makes the game always interesting.
Yeah, so Taylor gets another shot to go out to 15-3. Only needs 6 to go out to that magic 21 figure. So, of course, he's won the national singles before, Taylor Horn, so he can play. And we're seeing a great exhibition from him at the moment.
I think the other games are going quite well on the other rinks. Oh, I can't see who's there, but it's 13-3 on rink 12. On rink 14 is 13-4, and rink 16 11-2. So they're actually quite all similar. One's shot ahead.
So Adam Bailey out there. Who's he playing against, Emily? What's that going? Do we know? Can't see his opponent.
No.
Won it off. Ashley Jeffcott, I see out there, and over the far side, I see Hamish Wilson marking a Division 4 final. So, beautiful day here in Christchurch. It's hard to believe we had snow on Wednesday, and you look out there now, and it's like the middle of summer. So, yeah.
Did you have snow at home?
No, it might have been a sprinkle in the morning, nothing significant.
Yeah, we had, we didn't have snow. I'd call it more frozen hail.
Yes, that's what we had too.
Yeah, on my windshield I had to make sure that the car was running for a couple of minutes before I jumped in.
Yeah, it's hard to believe looking at that now that it's like the middle of summer, as I say, and there's a game of cricket on at Hagley Oval between Bangladesh and the Black Caps today, so they'll be pleased, the Bangladeshis, that they're not playing out in the cold climate like they were on Friday. So as we look at this head, Seamus has just played slightly better than Taylor here with his first 2 bowls, so he's fallen a wee bit shy with this one though, has he?
Yeah, just maybe about a metre or 2.
Plenty of room. Taylor swaps over and plays the forehand. I just mentioned Taylor won the national singles before. It was back in 2019. I was speaking to Murray Harper, our life member down there, and mentioning that to him. I said it was about 5 years ago, so I might have done him a disservice of a couple of years, but
not too far off.
He had a really good nationals in Auckland. I remember he didn't look like losing, so he we're looking to recapture that form again in the Auckland Nationals coming up in Christmas time or just after. And the bowling season is a good time of year when you look forward to all the events coming up, Emily. And
Yeah, definitely.
you're also, oh, there's a good bowl from Seamus. He's tidied that up nicely, so he's got a couple of shots here, and Taylor's only got one bowl left. Watching it closely as he's not too bad, I don't think.
Yeah, he's looking like he's going to come through those 2 bowls at the front.
Yeah. He's just got a clip on that one. He didn't want that really, otherwise he probably would have drawn the shot, but he's 2 down, so Seamus will be happy. The only risk here for Seamus is knocking Taylor's last bowl closer, but I'm sure he's aware of that. And
Yeah, so it's really making that
wide.
Yeah, making that target like 30 centimetres above the jack, so that then there's no risk of that bowl coming
you
in.
can see he's gone wider just because of that risk, but he's coming back and it's not badly weighted, so he's in the area for 3, so that's
it's a really good,
very good comeback, and so it tidies it up to 15-6. He'll be happy, Seamus, and we'll see what he does tactically here, because Taylor's been dictating at a sort of a, there we see him wander up the rink with his mat, so what that does is it changes the lines a wee bit, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this end unfolds.
and I think it's gonna stay in, definitely. And we're like we were saying, Anthony and I were talking about how important jack delivery is and the importance of it. It's again at this these 2 guys practice it probably quite regularly, because they've got to put it in the right spot that they want it. Because it makes all the difference in a game like this.
Yeah, indeed it does, but he's just a wee bit wide, and that's what happens when you bring the mat up like that. Your line comes in, so he's possibly kept to his old line, and hence he's finished wide. So we'll see what Taylor does. He looks better played here. He's tracking nicely into the jack with his first bowl, and look at that, that's magnificent.
And it does put the pressure on Seamus to correct this bowl here.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see him finish wide again. He'll pull it in a wee bit. So bowls is all about a game of corrections for those that don't know our sport that well, but he's over-corrected here, where he's going to go under the head and finish quite narrow, so he won't be happy with himself there.
And that's made Taylor change his hand.
Yeah. So we're talking about nationals in Auckland at Christmas time, or just after. Emily, what have you got on your plate in terms of coaching representative? Are you working with the Canterbury senior women again?
Yeah, yep. So got the coaching role for the Canterbury women's team. So we've got Canterbury Selection Day in mid-November, and then we've got the Southern Quad in December, and then the Super Sixes in February, and then hopefully the National Winter Centre in March. So there'll be a couple of trainings before each of those events, just getting the players and the coaches get to know each other a little bit more and a little bit better. I think that's really the major thing with those senior teams, is that it's really building that culture and that relationships, those connections with each other, so that they feel confident to play with each other at any stage and in any tournament, because they're all good players. It's just getting them to work well together.
So we'll be back here at Burnside actually in March for that event, the Intercentre. So looking forward to playing on these greens again. I'm sure the players who are representing their provinces. Of course, we've got I think next week the Intercentre finals from last year that weren't completed. So
yes, correct.
So
That's
great shot here from
nice.
Seamus. He's put the jack into the ditch, and you'll see Taylor Bruce chalk the bowl, and so it stays alive, and his bowl will be counting because it's within the confines of the rink, which are those 2 red pegs. We can see down the far end there, we've got similar pegs down this end, so he's finished with his bowl underneath almost the number down this end, I think, and so it won't be easy for Taylor to get shot here.
Yeah, so it looks like it was maybe just under a metre. So really just needs to get within like 30 centimetres of the ditch, which again is probably something that they practice.
What, he's not badly played, but he's
Oh, just out, I
just
think.
a wee bit shy, yeah. Good effort. So Seamus again scores. So it's 15-7. He's clawing his way back.
But this is the great thing about our sport is that, yeah, you can be 15-3 down, and all it takes is a couple of shots to get you groove back and start to move back.
I mentioned before about mindset, and
Yep.
the mental side of the game is quite critical, and I'll call Taylor pick that 4 up, but Seamus has clawed back with a 2 and a 1. See what he can do here. Just see standing behind the rink, a couple of old stalwarts from Burnside. Ken Wilson Pine does a great job here with what we call festival bowls on a Saturday afternoon for players that aren't too serious about our sport but come along and have a game, and they've only been playing the game for 1 or 2 years, and we fill up a whole green with people, and Ken does a sterling job in organising festival bowls. So that's on the far right of the screen there and behind the rink. So both players playing the same hand, the back hand down this way, and Taylor's just gone off a wee bit. We saw more accurate bowls coming this way a couple of ends ago from him.
This bowl's tracking quite nicely into to be close to the jack. Is it going to move it as well?
Yeah, pretty good bowl from Seamus. He's got his mojo back, so yep. Well, yeah, this unfolds. Taylor Bruce doing the marking. Of course, Taylor back from the Commonwealth Games, one of our bronze medalists in the triples and fours, and now has to reset for the World Bowls next year. So all the players will be trying to make that team, and it's a build-up of 12 months. September next year, Emily is. So it's a bit more than 12 months, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's
No, a bit less. So
yeah, August, September. Yep. Good track, but just needing a little bit more speed from Seamus on that last bowl. Still plenty of space, obviously, as you can see, for the bowls to track in nicely to the jack, but Taylor's bowl's just swung just a little bit narrow coming through. Looks like it's a good line coming down with Seamus's bowl.
Yeah, probably got a couple here. He's about to make it 3, I think.
Yep. There we go.
He's right on top of it. That's a great bowl from Seamus Curtin. So the roles have reversed, so the pressure goes back on Taylor. Weave his way through those early bowls. He hasn't made a bad fist of it. Or is he going to clip Seamus's early one? He is. Well, that might be... No, his own bowl's going to be third shot, isn't it? So he's 2 down. So 15-9.
As you were saying earlier, Graham, about Ken and the festival bowls, you can obviously see that there's a good number of Burnside players, members who are helping out with this event, which obviously with marking and flippers and all that sort of stuff, umpires, it really makes a huge difference for this type of event when you've got a good range of volunteers helping out to make it happen.
Yeah, we've got a membership of 250 people here, so yeah, and great volunteer base, and you're right, a tournament like this doesn't run unless you've got those volunteers, and I came in about 8:30 this morning, I suppose, but people would have been here as early as 7 o'clock, even earlier. The greenkeeper and a number of other people running around just making sure the place is tidy and just doing their wee bit. And so, look at that from Seamus. Wow, a front toucher, and that's an ideal bowl. Sets up this head nicely for him.
Yeah, provides a couple of challenges for Taylor and how he designs and attacks the head if he's what he wants to do.
bad response from Taylor. He's drawn reasonably close with his first bowl. You see those black marks on his bowl. I think that's from him driving the semi-final. I think that happened, and doesn't do anything to the bowl. It still just travels on the same direction or trajectory, and just looks a bit untidy, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Seamus is just putting one behind, which is probably a really good option.
He had a couple of chances there. He could have sat Taylor's closest bowl or just sneak behind, like you said, and he's got option B, which isn't a bad place to be. Taylor's just working down this backhand again, and he's not badly played.
Yeah, is it going to sneak in? It is.
Wow.
Oh, that's
misses.
close.
Yeah. A couple of good seconds there. I wouldn't be surprised we see Taylor attack shortly. That's the beauty of Seamus's bowl, where he put his second one. If the jack's right up against Seamus's bowl, and if Taylor touches it with any force, it will go back to Seamus's back bowl, and he's not badly played here either. He might almost get second shot. No, it just missed, but another good, very good bowl. You can see the position there. Any movement on that jack is going to go straight back to Seamus there. Not an easy head for Taylor to play to.
No, but he was quite close with his second bowl, so hopefully if he maybe is thinking to do a similar bowl, but unfortunately that's come
he just
swept
cut his
under the
green,
head.
cut that line a wee bit. So as you see, the chalk mark in the middle there, he's come underneath that, so won't be too happy with himself there. He's probably looking at playing a wee bit more weight than that as well, a metre through just to move the shot bowl, but probably possibly had the line weight, but line right, but not the weight. So.
Yeah, and Seamus is probably just deciding what's going to happen if his bowl and the jack move.
Yeah, he'll be a wee scoring here will bring him back into double figures and really tighten the game up. So. Takes his time in that pre-shot area before he gets on the mat. He's visualising, and just it's important that the speed you take behind the mat's the same, consistently the same all the time. And I think with Seamus, that's one of his strengths. He certainly doesn't rush things. It just might be a wee bit heavy, and he's finished in the ditch, so he's out of play with that bowl. And, perhaps was trying to play the shot where he moved his bowl onto the jack, and I don't know. I think he was probably better leaving it as it is. Taylor's got to get shot, doesn't he? So always harder to get the shot than what it is sometimes to take it away.
And I think one of our games on rink 14 has finished up. We've still got the end rink on 16. The score is 13-7, and then. Yeah, the rink 12 is 20-3, so potentially that game's finishing shortly. Not 100% sure. I don't think we've got the names here.
In front of me.
That was from the last round.
Yeah. Not very helpful, are we, Emily?
Well, all the information will be on the Burnside website.
That will too. Well said. Shirley Clark with a polka-dotted umbrella in front of us there, doing the scoreboard down here, and it's 15-10, so Seamus is into double figures, and he's clawing his way back, and since that 4 Taylor got, you've got the score here, Emily. He's got a single, but then Seamus has come back and scored on 4 consecutive ends, a 3, a 1, a 2 and a 1, so the tide's turned, as we see Seamus fall a wee bit shy with this first bowl. This is a great advertisement for our sport, these young people out there, and it's a credit to them all that they're very skillful.
Yeah, and I believe that we've got 2 players from the Cook Islands, 1 Australian player, 20 players from the North Island, and 9 players from the South.
We have, so it shows you the popularity of people travelling to this tournament from up north and overseas, and so it's fantastic. We'd probably like to see a few more Cantabrians in it, but our turn will come again.
Exactly. Well, there was a couple of Canterbury players in there. Just unfortunately, they didn't get through to the semi-finals.
No.
Yeah.
It's a good bowl from Seamus. He's right on top of it, and so Taylor's attacking with his second bowl, and he's missed. So, wow, this is huge in terms of the context of the game. We're seeing Seamus fight his way back. When you're inclined to play with light like that, you lose your draw weight as well, and that's what we're seeing a wee bit from Taylor. And while Seamus has come right onto his game, Taylor's just slipped off a wee bit, and so another tidy bowl from Seamus Curtin, third shot. So doubt that we'll see Taylor attacking again. But let's have a look. He's on that forehand. No, he is too, and he's narrow, and he's missed again. So he's only got one bowl on the rink, and it's a wee bit exposed, but I think Seamus will just be drawing to count again.
Yep, rather than trying to shift Taylor's bowl. Yeah, there's probably less of a risk.
I think he's looking at it though. As we say on the screen there, Seamus Curtin from Stokes Valley. He's got those famous red colours on. We saw Finbar McGuigan win this tournament a couple of years ago, and they were both... Yeah, I think they might have both made semis, but Finbar ended up winning it. Might have even beaten Seamus in the final, but standout strip that Stokes Valley have got is Seamus is looking for this shot. And,
yeah.
Yep.
It was obviously a risk he was willing to take at this stage of the game.
Well, it was worth 4 if he got it flush, and he wasn't far away.
And it would have only been potentially 1 or 2. If he moved it and went down.
I wouldn't be surprised we see Taylor play something. So he's coming up thinking about it because he knows the risk himself. If he punches that early bowl, if Seamus is onto the shot of Taylor's, well, of his own bowl, he could go 3 or 4 down. So 1 down's probably not bad fishing in the context of the head.
But again, it's probably that mindset thing. Is like Seamus has, had 4 wins, 4 last ends. So does Taylor want to risk another
it's
end?
Momentum, isn't it? The momentum has really swung back and making for an exciting final, which is fantastic for the spectators. And there's a few floating around. Of course, this is the last game of the 3-day tournament, and so most people will head back home after this. So.
Yeah. I feel like this bowl might be a little bit...
I think he's
Taylor.
tight again, isn't he? Get out the way, Taylor. Yeah, he's tight again, so it's one to Seamus Curtin to go to 15-11.
Yeah.
So Taylor's still got that wee bit of a lead, but he wouldn't want to drop too many more ends in a row like he has. So let's see this unfolds.
And as we're getting up to... They've just played 17 ends, so as we get closer and closer to that 20 ends played, it does take a toll on the athletes out there. So hope they're drinking enough water and make sure they've got snacks to sustain them for the whole game.
It's a very good point, Emily, because the hydration factor is huge in terms of this is the second game they've played today in the heat, but they started on Friday with 4 games, played 4 games yesterday, so who says bowls isn't an endurance sport? You need fitness, and so that you do, and the hydration side is just as important. So Seamus is missing here with his first, so he won't be too happy with that.
But he's probably hoping that now he'll be able to correct it.
He's given Taylor an opportunity with his first bowl here, and he's not badly played, I don't think. As it tracks in towards the jack, and he's going to be very close. He might just skim across a wee bit, but not bad. No, that's a pretty good opener from Taylor.
Still effective.
Yeah, when we say effective, Emily, we're talking about a metre from the target area, that jack, so...
Yeah. A little bit quicker this bowl, but hopefully it'll finish in line.
Not too bad. It's just a little bit wide, so Taylor's got one and be looking to add another one, as we see on the screen there. Taylor Horn from the Cambridge Central Club, which is up Hamilton Way, if my geography's right.
Yep.
And, he's not too bad at all. He's played a very good bowl here. Oh no, he's just a wee bit shy, but it still might be 2 shots, I think. Yep. Oh, I don't know. One of them.
Could be close.
See Taylor, she might tell us. Gets the fingers out, so for anyone who doesn't know, she'll put one finger on the jack and one finger on the bowl and swivel around to get a good indication as to who's got second shot here. She looks 1 on a measure, she says, but thinks it's 2 down, so it's close for second.
But there is plenty of room for both players to make it more, decided.
Indeed. The risk here for Seamus is he runs into Taylor's early bowl, but
He's gone wide.
he's given enough width to get around that.
Is he going to sit on his own and move it in?
Moved it out. I think it'll be 2 definitely now. So yeah. So Seamus just 1 bowl left. Is in a bit of trouble here. As Taylor looks to add another. He might even be covering these wide bowls of Seamus's because there is a slight risk there if Seamus was to play the forehand. Pick up the jack, but he's covered both really. He's got 3rd shot and he's covered the risk a wee bit. Seamus still got a chance here on the forehand if he plays it. Sit the bowl, shot bowl, we'll pick the jack up for 2 or 3. Putting a bit of thought into it. What other option would he be looking at? I suppose drawing down the same hand he's come before to beat that wing bowl Taylor's to get the shot. But, I think his percentages are on that forehand.
Yeah, it's good that he's taking the time to assess what he's going to play.
He's a big bowl. It could determine the match.
Yeah, he's either going to go 3 down,
which will make it 18-11.
Yeah, which is a big gap, but if he can just drop it down to 1 or 2 or even convert himself and get 1 then that does keep it,
well, that's
changes
why
the
he's
game.
taking his time. He knows the importance of this bowl.
And also covering for the next bowl as well because Taylor's still got 1 to come.
Yep. The old fence behind Seamus here needs a paint. I think Burnside are painting it shortly, so...
I'm sure there's some volunteer group that is already set to do that sometime soon, won't there?
There is Emily, and they're worried about the house behind them. Might spray that green at the same time. Here he comes. He's looking for that jack.
Yeah.
Oh, he's playing with a bit more weight than
It's
what
quite
I
narrow.
thought he would. He is narrow. He's got his own.
Ooh,
No, he hasn't.
through the
He's still
gap.
3 down, so Taylor will flick out to 18-11. So
Or he could even make it 19.
19, couldn't he? He draws
Yeah.
another. It is 3, isn't it? Oh, no,
Yeah.
it might only be 2.
Yeah, it depends that one at the
That
front.
one, yeah.
Yeah. But seeing as Taylor's got 2 on either side, it provides like a good safety net to either wick another bowl in or something like that.
Fairly nonchalant sort of delivery that Taylor's got. Doesn't expend too much energy on it. So it comes down the head and he's sitting his own one.
Yeah,
so
he is.
he's made another one at least. So how many's Taylor going to hold up in her hand here? Well, it might be full house, I reckon. Full house being 4 shots, but let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, wow. 19-11, and Taylor's almost out now. It was a big bowl of Seamus's, but she missed. So it could be the difference in the game. Let's see whether Seamus can make another fight back.
He's not happy with that delivery for some reason.
Yeah, don't think it looks too bad.
No.
I'd be happy with that.
So would I.
Yeah, no, he's pretty tidy. Oh, he's
He
just
might have
missed the
just
jack. He's-
scraped the bottom or something.
I think he thought he was heavy, but he wasn't heavy. Probably just slightly narrow. So, as mentioned before, this is Taylor Warren's last year in the under-26 tournament, so he'll be gritting his teeth now, thinking he's within sight of a victory in his last year. And obviously, you've got to be under 26 to qualify for the tournament, and Taylor turns 27 next year, and The last opportunity to get his name on his trophy, which he's got half engraved already, I'd suggest. So here he comes on the backhand, and he's not badly played here. Just diving a wee bit under it, but still handy. Seamus do in response? He doesn't look too bad to there. Let's see as he breaks back into the head.
He's tracking well since the bowl started to break, isn't it?
Yeah, he's right on top of it, isn't he?
And is he going to shift it back to his?
Yeah, 2 shots, Seamus Curtin.
There we go.
Probably relieved at that. There's still got an opportunity here. Come down the forehand and look at giving the bowl a chance, sitting those bowls of Seamus's, and he's badly pointed as he he's very close here. He's got the jack, and he's probably just one down now. That's a very good bowl. You got one, Taylor says to Seamus.
Well, that's pretty tight.
Might be tight for second, the way she's looking at it. Just the one, so Seamus has got a chance here to sit Taylor's closest bowl through, or just give the jack a wee bit of a nudge towards his, so let's see what he does. Stalks it up the green, looking closely at it, and
that's it tracking.
no, he's shy, yeah, but he's perhaps got in Taylor's way a wee bit. As mentioned before, these two would be the most experienced players in the under-26 field this year, and it's no surprise to see both of them in the final. They've had a good run through too. Mike Kernahan was here, he'd be mentioning how strong the South Island is at poles at the moment, but these two, of course, are from the North Island, so
That's right, the North Island's got to win sometimes, don't they?
well, I suppose they do, Emily, and we're a bit biased, aren't we? Tamara's the only one grimacing over the other side from us here. But, let's see what Taylor can do with his last bowl. He's got to be fairly accurate here to get around his own with enough weight to move the jack, but he's just cutting over there and he's under it, so... I don't know what Seamus is going to do here.
His options...
I'd almost be able to put this in the pocket and not play it, to be honest, because there's a risk in giving it away.
So whether you come the forehand and go through the Seamus's front bowl and Taylor's last bowl, or there's that path, but he's going to the backhand by the looks of it.
Yeah, I just...
It's a risky situation,
I
think.
don't think it's that easy to get another shot here, so he's greened it.
Definitely kept it wide.
Yeah, that's probably the right thing to do. So he claws one more back, 19-12. Remember, Taylor Warren just needs 2 to go out and win the last time he can the under-26 singles, national singles title. Speaking to Kerry Bruce earlier on, she was really pleased with the talent that's arrived here at Burnside this year, and every year she seems to do a great job in getting the best from around the country, and this year's no different. So, and what adds value, as you mentioned before, Emily, is the Cook Islands and the young fella from Australia from the Marylands Club, so it just gives an international flavour to it, which adds value, and he's Seamus on the forehand, and he's played a good opening bowl here. He
has. Yeah, and as Anthony and I were talking earlier around building that camaraderie with other young bowlers, it's fantastic that they get that opportunity not only to compete against each other, but to also learn more about each other, so then they can potentially participate in other tournaments together, as most of them and some of them have, which is fantastic. That's really what an additional bonus outcome of an event like this.
Yeah, and also Mike Kernahan being here, the National League coach, that's great kudos for the tournament itself and for the players to be playing in front of him. And he'll be feeding back to the national selectors, Sharon Sims and Peter Ballas, exactly what he's seeing. And so therefore that's another reason why the players probably come here, because they know it's on the radar of the national selectors, and you'll see a few of these players play for New Zealand, I'm sure, in the next few years.
Yeah, well, they've got a good pool and good pool to select from, that's for sure.
Yeah, so Taylor Horn, he looks pretty close to this one. He's right onto the jack. Look at this.
Yeah.
He's got a toucher. So, yep, that's one of his two he needs. Taylor Bruce gets the chalk out of pocket. And as mentioned before, we chalk a bowl so that we know if it goes in the ditch and it stays within the confines. Those two red pegs, it's live still and it will count. It's the closest to the jack. So here comes Seamus. He's on the run, but he's a bit narrow, so it's gone through to the keeper. Taylor puts a foot on it, puts it on the bank, and out of play it goes. Taylor just taking his time now, coming up. He knows he's within cooey of winning this, and so therefore he's determined, I would imagine, not to make any mistakes, and so therefore just takes his time.
Yeah, deliberate all his options so that he knows and feels confident in what he's going to play.
Yeah.
And he also knows that Seamus may or may not have another run at it, so he's got to protect himself if needed.
I mentioned yesterday, Emily, that Mike Kernahan and myself were in Whangamata a few weeks ago doing a coach development course, but been fortunate to be in Cromwell and Blenheim over the last few weeks as well, running similar type courses. So it's great to be interested in coaching and bowls out there, and a good time of year to be doing that before the season kicks off, so that the enthusiasm is there.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think that's changing. Well, it's a continual change and continual development within bowls is the importance of coaching, and I think more and more people and clubs are seeing that having coaching is really important at any stage of the game.
Yeah, I agree. And here comes Seamus. He's running at the head.
Yeah, he's gone the other side.
He's close. Oh, he's just missed, and so
got his own bowl.
Yeah, he's still got one relatively close, and Taylor's got a chance here to win the match. All he's got to do is draw a second shot. So we make it sound easy, don't we? That he's got that bowl with the black stripe on it that's hit the bank before as he comes into the head, and he's
tracking. Wow,
not bad, but he's
cutting
he's under it, isn't he? He just missed. So one takes him to 20. He's all but out. Needs one more shot to go to 21, and Seamus will need another 9 shots. So, but he's out of it, and he'll be gritting his teeth, Seamus, thinking, I've still got a chance here.
And as we've heard today already, that there's players who, like a 20-0 or something like that, a huge score apart, but then they do fight back to either win the game or get pretty close. Yeah,
we've seen some great matches, and I can't help but be impressed with all the quarterfinalists that have made it through the main event. The standard of play has been superb, as Taylor Horn with his opening bowl just underneath the jack, but very handy. So
good starting position with that one.
Yep. The Burnside Bowling Club, looking at the picture in the background there, and people who've been here will know the quality of the green and the clubhouse and the facilities, and it's
a lovely bowl.
Start of the season here, and as it is all around the country, and people will be getting enthused about their bowls now, and it's a great time of year as Taylor Horn looks to get the shot here to go out, and he's on his backhand, just slightly wide. Communicating with my best mate Bruce Wakefield down in South Canterbury yesterday. He's just moved down to Timaru to live, Emily.
Oh, wow.
He played games all around the show. He's joined the West End Bowling Club, but they went to Waimate, I think. A couple of other clubs he mentioned these, so things are in full swing down there, and as they are, no doubt, right around the country.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone is, yeah, either playing in meat raffle tournaments or, yeah, other things. Starting club champs. I know a few clubs here in Christchurch have already started their club championships, just so that they can get them all underway and out of the way before Christmas potentially.
A couple of weeks ago we had a club peers and a club fours game as Taylor Horn looks to run both of these bowls out, and he's got them. Oh, what a shot.
There we go.
So that could be the winning bowl. Although Shane still got a couple left to respond, but a great shot from Taylor.
Seamus will just be looking to replace the ones that have just been
I'll tell you what, he's not
moved
bad.
out. Yeah,
He's drawn the shot, I think. Yep, well played, Seamus Curtin. So he takes the shot back. And what does Taylor do here? Does he try and draw it, or does he run that bowl? What do you think, Emily?
Well, he's got... This is the last bowl, I think, for him. So...
He's running
he's running it.
Yeah. You weren't going to say that, were you? No, he's missed a bit of room to draw, but he ran with his previous one, so backed himself again.
Well, it says that I think they'd both be capable of doing so, but it's that change of going from a run shot or a drive to a draw is a really key shot to be able to play.
Yeah, something our players train, so they know when they have to do it in the game they can, but just not executing quite right there, Taylor. And Seamus got another one. I think he has, hasn't he?
Yeah, he might do. Can't tell.
No. We'll wait for Taylor. See what Taylor Bruce does here. Everyone else knows except us, Emily.
Yeah, I think there was a 2.
Oh, you think it was? So it's
Yeah,
2014, that being the case. So Seamus hanging in.
Yeah, it is definitely 2.
Mm.
Penny Pat's changed over the scoreboard. And we've got Pippa Johnson. Oh, no, sorry. We've got Shirley Clark down the other end as the other flipper.
Yeah, and mistake by Seamus. He's put the jack in the ditch. And so what happens and what we're seeing is the jack gets re-delivered by Taylor. So he'll probably shorten it up a wee bit. So tactically, not great from Seamus because he's made a mistake. But they've been playing this length anyway, so I don't think it'll make too much difference.
No, but if he wanted, there might have been a reason why he wanted that longer end.
Yeah, I think he was just changing it up, making it different, so Taylor had to think about it. So we'll see what unravels here as Seamus with his first bowl on the forehand. Nice delivery, follow through is great, and here he is well greened as he comes back into the head, and he's just a wee bit over the top. So plenty of room for Taylor to draw a shot.
And it's always good to see, it's great to see this level of play, like all of their pre-shot routines seem to be quite consistent, which is fantastic.
Yeah, for people who don't know our game and think of other sports like goal kicking and rugby or a cricket at the top of his mark about the bowl, it's all about what you do at that start. And as we see with Seamus, just takes his time before he gets on the mat in that pre-shot area, delivers the bowl there and follows through with the what they call the palm to heaven is the description some people use, so that both of these players have got beautiful techniques, and he's starting to get close, but it's not too, there's still a bit of space there for Taylor. What they say is you get the delivery right on the mat and the outcome will take care of itself down the other end. And here we see Taylor with her fingers again. She'll have one finger on the bowl, one finger on the jack, and she says measure. Can't decide who's got the shot. And Taylor's obviously asked the question, how far away, how much distance has he got to draw this bowl? And Taylor points out at least a metre, so two Taylors out there, haven't we? Taylor Bruce and Taylor Horn. Gets a wee bit confusing, doesn't it? Yeah, that's a great shot from Taylor.
Yep.
Taylor Horn has nailed that, and so therefore he's got game. So Seamus of his last 2 bowls needs there. Up he comes. He's just going to slow it down a wee bit. What would you do if you're Seamus here, Emily?
Well, it depends on whether I've been practicing or not, and I've got the confidence to be able to to move things, or like there's definitely space to draw, but at the same time, what's the risk?
Yeah,
Or what's the risk of driving or a run shot?
I think what he's looking at is who's got second
Yeah.
shot, because if he does run at it and takes Taylor's closest bowl out, he'll be looking to see where he will then have the shot. But it's very close between those other shots. He does have the back bowl. He's got, I believe, everything to gain by reaching probably on the forehand, sitting the bowl, picking the jack. Can do the same on the backhand, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, would there be a risk of, if he goes the forehand and comes narrow and gets the jack and pops it out, I suppose he's really in no different position as he is now, but...
Well, it's pretty hard to draw the shot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like he's got to be fairly precise with a draw shot, whereas
Yeah.
if he comes running at it, he's got the position over the top, he's got a bowl-wide target there. Bowl and the jack, he's got a couple of chances. That's why he was looking to see if he had the next shot. So let's have a look and see what he plays. Yeah, he's on the backhand, I think.
Yeah, backhand with a little bit of a run.
Yeah, he's
So gonna
trying
curve
to
in.
move the jack or the bowl.
Oh, this is pretty
It's
close.
Just wide, I think.
No.
Oh, no, he's got it.
There we go.
That's a great shot from Seamus
Is it going to
Curtin.
stay in? I think it's out.
Can't see, can we? What's Taylor Bruce doing?
Oh, that's close. Oh.
No, it's out. Yeah. So what happens now is they'll replay the head. They've got the option of going back to where they played it from, but both of them are coming this way with the bowls on the mat. So with Seamus, and it's quite often you'll see players pick up the bowls and go, we want to play it back from the same end, because they know they can draw closer going that way than the other way sometimes, but I don't think it matters to these two the way they're playing.
No, and I suppose there's no head and tailwind, like extremes, and that's what might affect someone's decision to start again where they were or play from the other end.
Sometimes it's a mind thing though, if you say, oh, we'll play it back from the same way, if you're in Taylor's shoes especially, knowing that he's just drawn the shot and could do the same again, but he's obviously confident he can draw a shot coming this way as well. So Seamus starts on the back end. They're playing up and down this ditch hand side. It's not that close to the ditch, with it in a wee bit. But,
Quite a nice draw, just a little bit over.
yep. I'm going to give a big shout out to Jamie Ferris. Our greens are looking magnificent here at Burnside. The cover he's got on them this time of year is terrific, and they've got a green tinge to them after the snow last week, but that'll soon disappear once the sun starts to heat them up. Taylor's about a metre or so short of that, but he has the shot.
Yeah, it was great. I was able to play last weekend on these greens, and so they ran really well, especially for the time of year that it is, but and especially with the weather that we've had as well in the lead up to the last few weeks. It's they're running really well.
Yeah, Seamus is just underneath Taylor's bowls. It's still one to Taylor. What were you playing here last week, Emily? What was
just the Bowls Canterbury identification camp.
Yes, that's right. You
I
were
was
supposed to be
roped in.
coaching, but you were playing, yes.
Yeah, when there was a player short, I got to play. We didn't end up with a win, but it was good to see what the
Taylor Hall,
players were
look at
doing.
that, he's nailed that.
Yeah.
So this makes it really hard for Seamus to hang in this game there. I'm sure he's got the ability to do it. Let's see if he can. On the backhand draw. He's
Definitely got the
going
green.
Oh, he's just a wee bit wide, is he, and a bit heavy. So one to Taylor, and he's only, as I say, needs that one to go out and win the under-26 title. So what's he doing here? He's playing the forehand. He's looking possibly at covering Seamus's back two bowls.
It's probably a smart option when you're sitting with one on the jack.
Tell you what, though, he's almost drawn another shot, isn't he?
Building a bigger target, unfortunately.
Not too bad. Like Seamus, I suppose, has an opportunity here. If he picks the jack up, he'll pick it up for three. He takes his hat off and looks a bit worried as he studies what he's got to do.
So he's deciding whether he splits the bowls or go on the backhand to to draw or to move the jack back.
He's played a couple. Well, he wasn't far away with his last bowl on the backhand.
Yeah.
I tend to think he'll probably do something similar. Because if he moves those closest bowls of Taylor, he still goes one down with that front bowl. I think that front's third shot, isn't it?
Yeah,
So.
yeah, and the way that they're positioned, it's not like they're going to hit the jack as they move, because one's flat and one it's a side on the angle, so they're unlikely to actually hit the jack to make movement. So
If he clicks the front one flush, he could theoretically take out the whole three, but Taylor's still got a bowl in hand, so we're seeing him on the back end, I think, just looking at trying to give it a chance. If he does pick up the jack and get a 3, all of a sudden the score goes 20-17 if Taylor doesn't do anything with his last, but it's got to be a very good bowl here. Looks wide, looks heavy,
yeah, it looks
and
like
I think we see our
that's it.
champion for 2022 of the under-26 singles is Taylor Hall, and takes his hat off and bows his head, and well deserved. Played terrific all weekend.
Yeah, it was great to watch this game and be able to commentate, and so thank you, Graham, for coming along and giving us a hand to just talk through this game.
It's been a pleasure. It was some great bowls played, and I hope everyone watching enjoyed it as much as we did. So we'll sign off now, and thanks very much.
Yeah, good season.